Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video. Last time I posted one was July 16th, which was essentially almost 6 months ago. So here I am letting you know what's been going on. So in the past 6 months, I have been extremely busy. Aside from dealing with life, I also became a published author. I published my first book on September 1st and 2nd, depending on which version you look at. I believe the ebook version was published on September 1st, and then I know for a fact that paperback was published September 2nd. So that's where I have been. I have been away because I've been super busy with my regular job and then also my publishing career. So haven't had a lot of time, and I've also been very forgetful on remembering to post any videos on where I've been. So back in July, a lot was happening. The entire world was going through a pandemic, and it still is as I make this video. There was also a lot of other personal stuff going on in my life during July. It was a big deal for us. And then from about June until maybe the end of August, maybe beginning of August, I was solely focused on publishing this book. Because of everything that had been happening, I was determined to make sure that I followed my one dream of 2020, which was publishing my first book. So aside from everything going on in my life, I tried to stay on track, and I did. I stayed on track. I published by the beginning of September, and then I meant to make a video announcing my release, but then I just got so busy with other things. By the time October came, I just got really demotivated, down with everything else going on. October was the first year anniversary of my dog and cat dying. They both died within a week of each other from the October of 2019. And so when that realization hit me, I kind of just lost all motivation to do anything. And so I took the entire month of October just relaxing, taking care of myself, trying to stay sane. It was pretty bad to the point that I couldn't even write. I was just extremely drained. And then November came. November, I had plans to work on publishing my second book, which will be released March 1st. And so while I was publishing that book, or working on publishing, it had finished going through the beta reading or technically it hadn't gone through the beta reading stage. Or did it? I'm trying to remember when the beta reading stage ended, and I think it was in October, which means November was focused on basically rewriting the book and taking all of my beta reader suggestions into account, trying to make the book the best that it could be, and I was doing pretty well. I was on track. And then November 30th, my dog died, and we've had him for 17 years. And I literally grew up with him from the time that he was 8 weeks old, when I was probably 6 years old. So he was my best friend. And so after November 30th, I basically just had to take a major break from social media. A lot of, it became very hard to deal with. And I was constantly crying all the time. I had no motivation. And then I have always been extremely into the holidays, Christmas, it's my favorite time of year, but this year I wanted nothing to do with Christmas. It was extremely hard to deal with. I mean, I celebrated Christmas, but the spirit for Christmas just was not there. I just saw no point in being excited for it. It just wasn't a good time. I'm still currently going through the process of grieving, so I've been trying to gain back the motivation that I've lost over the past month and a half about. It's been extremely hard because even when I go to work, I'm just super drained. I don't want to do anything. I'm walking super slow. I feel weak. It's just... So, aside from that, once I've been trying to get myself back up on my feet, I have been working on publishing a second book. This second book that I have been working on is called To Believe in Peter Pan. Now, I have an Instagram. I can link that in the description below. But it's Lost in Neverland, but instead of lost being L-O-S-T, it's spelled L-X-S-T, and no spaces, no symbols, just Lost in Neverland with an X instead of an O. And so I've been posting about the process on my Instagram, about how that's been going. I just finished everything with the book. It's all formatted, edited, cover app's been made, it's completely ready to publish, and I will be revealing a cover for that on February 1st. The ebook will be available for pre-order from February 1st till March 1st. On March 1st, it'll be available for full-on purchase because the book will be live, and the paperback will also be available for purchase on March 1st. So that's what I have been working on. And then there's this book. So this book I did publish. It has been my very first book that I've ever published. When I decided that I wanted to publish, I was not very sure, which book I wanted to publish first. That was my very first initial thought, was which book is going to be my debut novel. It wasn't a hard process to figure out. I mean, maybe after a week or so, I realized I wanted to publish this book because this book exactly represents who I am as an author, and it's one of my most proud works to this day, and I'm extremely happy about it. It is a book in a trilogy series, which means there will be 2 more books coming out. I have book 2 currently in the beta reading stage, so it should be published sometime of this summer in 2021, and book 3 will be published probably around, I want to say, the beginning, maybe springtime of 2022. So anyways, this book here, many of you might not know this because my YouTube channel used to just be for a lot of, I don't want to say kid things, because kids are not the only people who enjoy little toys or little collectibles or any of that. Just, it used to be for collectible type of stuff, and I used to post videos and episodes of my dolls reviews. I used to post all kinds of that stuff. I'm not moving away from that, if that's what you're wondering. I've just been so busy trying to establish my career as an author and trying to juggle work and all of the loss that I've been dealing with this past fall and winter. So once I can get this all figured out, I will probably be back in the groove of things. I was thinking maybe sometime in the future I want to remake a trailer, but with my dolls. So as you guys know, there's a trailer, 2 trailers actually, on my account. Both book trailers. They're just basic book trailers, not real or anything. I just took clips of certain celebrities and stuff, and I mashed it all together to look like it would fit my book, and what my book is about. And what I did, it was fun, but I will never do it again. I hate making book trailers that way anyways. So I was thinking maybe I could make book trailers for these same books, or any book that I'm going to publish someday or am in the process of publishing. I can make trailers for these books using my dolls. I have a sewing machine. I can get fabric. I've got everything I need to build a set, as you can say. Only thing I don't really have is maybe a little bit of music, but I'm sure that'll be easy to attain. It's not like I need any special song or anything. I just need kind of background music or something that'll fit. Or I could just get some help with those songs again. Trying to think. That's what I have planned for the future, aside from all of this. I don't want this video to get too long, but I do want to just mention a few more points, because I am now published. I am published through Amazon. It's self-publishing. I am not with the major publishing house or anything like that. I decided to go the self-publishing route because it fit best with my needs as a published author. I have a lot of control over my books as a self-published author. A lot of traditionally published authors, that's amazing for them. I'm not knocking on their work or anything. It's just there are certain things that a lot of traditionally published authors do not get to decide in their official books, which is something that I have an issue with. I will admit that. I like having that control. I like having control over the title of the book, the cover of the book, literally everything. So that's why I chose self-publishing, and it also works for me because traditional publishing is not very versatile in certain themes and audiences and things like that. For example, I write mostly new adult works. This is from age 18 to 25. My audience is 18 to 25, or at least a majority of them are. And my main characters are always aged between 18 and 25. And this is because I'm a 22-year-old woman. I don't relate with teenagers anymore. So I write dark fantasy romance stories about people my age. And I'm not sure if that might change as I age, if maybe my characters will start growing with me. It's hard to say. But in the traditional publishing world, they usually want new adult if it has sexual themes. A lot of my books do not. They might mention it, but they are not explicit. They are not erotica. And the traditional publishing world does not accept that. I also have some young adult books here and there when the characters do need to be around 17. In those books, I have very dark themes. I have violent themes. And in a big portion of the traditional publishing world, that is not a thing. A lot of publishing houses do not accept that. They want to water it down, and I will not water down my work to fit a specific mold. Self-publishing is very versatile for these themes. It's becoming a lot more popular because of it. A lot of people are realizing that they can write for certain audiences because rule of thumb is if you love the idea, there's going to be an audience for it out there. Essentially saying my non-sexual new adult books have an audience, and my violent young adult books have an audience, and I'm going to write my stories as my stories need to be written. I'm not going to water anything down or what's the word I'm looking for? Tone anything up, I guess I should say. So essentially that's why I chose to self-publish. And so this is my debut novel that I did end up publishing. If you read the blurb right here, it says, after Angel was murdered, she found new purpose in her afterlife, mending her mistakes by becoming a guardian angel. After a botched first mission, she's certain God won't give her another soul to protect, but that's when she's assigned Aiden Dyer. Aiden is the embodiment of no good, and when his extreme recklessness results in a horrific car accident, he's finally sent his angel to set him on the path to righteousness. While Angel struggles to save him, she starts to feel more for him than duty alone demands. Now that she can't imagine her afterlife without him in it, the pressure is on Angel to save Aiden's soul so that when it departs his mortal body, he won't be sent to hell to burn for eternity. So, I do have some business cards and some bookmarks that will be coming. They are not for sale. They will be given away with giveaways or sold with books that I choose to sell to people in person. But I will be doing giveaways in the future, so definitely keep those in mind. I'm just kind of waiting for those to arrive so that I can do giveaways and have some merch with it. My author tagline is Dark Tales of Mythical Romance. Essentially sums up what kind of author I am. I write dark fantasy romance. That is always going to be throughout every book that I publish. Not every book that I write, of course. Sometimes I have a break, but those books are never going to be published if they're not dark fantasy romance. They'll just be something I write for fun, because even if I do enjoy writing those types of books sometimes, I can't write them for very long because eventually I need my dark fantasy romance fix. But this book is available on Amazon. I will also link you to that below. I should probably link my Amazon author website to my account here on YouTube. There's just a simple peek into the book. It is copyrighted by me, of course. And obviously, I also wanted to mention everything is done by me. Like, I did all of my own formatting because the reality is I don't have the money to pay somebody to format. I took a lot of time watching YouTube videos, searching, researching on how to properly format and stuff. And I also have an entire shelf of books, so I read a lot. And one thing that I always focus on while I'm reading books is how different authors format their books. So this is essentially what it looks like on the inside. One thing that I also wanted to notice or point out is I also do my own cover art. So I do my own graphic design. I actually have a little graphic design shop. It's a little bit taking off the ground. It's called Lost Designs, which is my overall brand that I have associated with myself and writing. So I am starting to sell covers as well as make my own. Essentially, it just saves me a lot of money on having to pay somebody to make a cover that is as I see fit. I don't know how long I've been making covers, but I've been making covers for quite a few years. I want to say 3, maybe 4 years, and I've been using Photoshop for, I want to say either a year or 2 years now. I think it's been almost, I think it has been almost a year since I started using Photoshop. I use Photoshop a lot, so it's not like I just use it every now and then. I use Photoshop a lot to practice, learn new techniques, new effects and stuff like that. So essentially that is going to be what this video consists of. I have published my new book. I have another one coming out. I have some video ideas for the future. I just need time to deal with everything going on, because there has been so much going on in my life that I can't handle it all at once. And it does not help that COVID is happening while all of this is happening. So it's just been taking a lot out of me. My mental health has been needing extra attention because of it. So overall, that is all I have to say. A lot has changed, so expect those changes to show up in future videos. I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate any support if anybody decides to go buy my book. Thank you, and I hope you all have a good 2021. Hopefully it's better than the last.